Okay, so uh, we're going to talk about the Hydra Sword, which everybody in the world is playing. I'm going to show you how I play it, and this is me telling everybody right now. My friends and I have been playing a lot. Uh, I'm going to go for 300 again. I've gotten 300 like every season. Um, the grind is stupidly long, but at this point, I gained like 10 levels today, so my friend that's in the 290s, he got like 5 levels today. We found that farming 69 is actually the best XP in the game. Uh, we did the math. During Mother's Blessing, you do 69s. During non-Mother's Blessing, you do 79s. The reason being is the Mother's Blessing doesn't apply to the completion bonus. So, what you want to do is make up the difference of 550k by just doing a lower tier because it's easier. Let me run one to show you what I do, and then I'll go over the build gear and whatnot. It's a little different. Usually I do the run after, but for people who want to skip this, I'll just I'll put a timestamp or something, I think. This build can do like you could speed run like up to 89s like efficiently with this. Again, right now I suggest you run 69s even if you have like mid gear, because again the Mother's Blessing makes up the difference. But that won't be the case in 4 days from now, so I'm just showing you how I play it. It's extremely fast. I'll explain how I got this set up to go so fast in the gear portion. Super fun. My only wish for this build is I wish Hydra kind of like moved. I mean, it acts like a turret. I guess that wouldn't be thematic because Hydra's never moved, so maybe not. But I wish it moved a little bit, because sometimes it like this just misses monsters in the middle. That's fine. Another thing I'm doing, I'm just trying to get all the glyphs to 100 because there's no other. There's nothing else to do for me except for pits and level the glyphs. And when the glyphs are 100, then I still have like 1,000 rounds left to go, so. Alright. We'll go over the gear here. Some things I'm gonna tell you right now, you have to farm these mythic uniques. These three become like mandatory. Harlequin Crest, basically mandatory. Gives you +4 to everything, and you're looking for cooldown as the GA. I got max resource, which isn't bad because it gives Hydra damage. But cooldown reduction is what you want here. Shroud of False Death, another one, +1 to all passives. It's just absurd. Like, if you look at your tree, every passive is ridiculous. So to get +1 to all of them is just dumb. I triple crit all stats, and it's a GA, so this literally unlocks, like, in your Paragon board, anything that requires me to have a certain stat is unlocked now. Flashfire, I spent all day training to get perfect aspects. The The only GA that matters here is core skills. You could roll any stat. You just need core skill GA. And preferably triple credit. Obviously Hydra damage on here. And we're going to talk about the speed variant, which requires you to have static discharge here. You could have 2 or 3. Obviously more points is always better. But it requires you to use static discharge, the speed version. Axial conduit, nothing on here matters except for the GA resource generation and maximum. Maximum increases the Hydra damage by a huge amount, and the generation means your globe just, like, from mana regen, from anything else, your globe bounces up and down. You spend all your mana to cast Hydra and you get it all back instantly, so your globe just bounces. You have to triple crit this. This is like mandatory triple crit with the masterworking. Okay, boots. Things that matter on here. Mana per second is insanely good because, again, it feeds more into this. It's actually closer to like 12 mana per second. And that multiplies with everything else. So mana per second on here is good. Probably don't need movement speed. I just like it for when I'm running around town. I really wish I could triple crit the evade cooldown. That would make my runs even smoother, but doesn't really matter. What is important on here is you need the implicit attacks reduce cooldown. I didn't realize this for the longest time. I was playing Hydra completely wrong until like Paragon 150, and my friend's like, dude, you have to cast Hydra and it resets your teleport. So what I did is I made a macro where I still got to push it 4 times super fast, but all it does is push 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how I do it. I don't know how other people are going to do it, but I just press 1, 2, 3, 4, and then left and right click. I'm just used to smash, like playing a warrior in WoW made me used to just smashing left and right click like all the time. So, yeah, but that's how you get the teleport to be instant. You need attacks reduce evade cooldown. And again, static discharge for the speed build only. I can show you the push build, but I'll save that for when I'm 300 or probably not. You probably won't see that guide, but on the off chance, I might make one. But this is for speed only. Okay. Wand. Honestly, I just bought any one that I could find with GA. I thought Int was like good. Obviously, a 3 GA one with like all 3 stats being insane would be ideal. What matters on here is Hydra damage and Hydra heads, okay? Hydra heads, this isn't perfect. You want to roll casted Hydra heads triple credit every time you can. It double dips, so I'm missing like 40% Hydra damage. And the aspect serpentine is needed for this build too. Basically, again, when you cast Hydra, it uses all your mana, you get all your mana back instantly. But Hydra heads are always the best stat. Oh, and Emerald critical strike damage just Hydra's always crit because of the way everything works together. So crit damage just also makes them stronger. This item is the most insane item I've found in the Diablo game. Besides, like, some stuff back in the day, but... this is absolutely mandatory for this build, too. What you're looking for on here is GA Primordial Binding. The other stats don't really matter that much, but you need Primordial Binding, and you want to triple crit it because it gives you like +8, +7, I think it's +8 actually. I haven't triple crit it, but I don't need to because I'm so fast, and I got tired of spending Obdicite on this. But mine is absolutely perfect. You want to get GA Primordial Binding and as much Hydra Head damage as you can on here. And then the gem, you deal 20% more elemental damage. Taking 10% more doesn't mean anything because Sorceress, as an intelligence class, you have max resistance anyway. So this is just 20% extra damage for nothing this season. Another one you have to... I mean, this is the only optional mythic unique, but this is the best mythic unique. You could get a normal ring and put, like, another fire synergy on here. Just type in, like, Hydra and slap anything on there. But Ring of Star Skies is something you really want. The GA you want is not the one I have. You want to get GA core skills again and triple credit if you can. Mine just happens to have attack speed. I mean, I crafted like 4 Starless Skies and all of them were attack speed, so I gave up on that too. I double crit core skills, and I'm tired of messing around with Obdicite. I just want to farm XP. This is a 99 billion gold ring. I traded like weeks and weeks to finally buy this. What you're really looking for is GA, again, cooldown reduction on here. Again, you want to triple crit the cooldown reduction if you can. Again, I spent like 300k Abdicite again on this thing and couldn't get it, so I figured double hit is enough. And then it got non-physical damage, which is more Hydra damage, so I was mad, but not that mad. Lucky a Chance doesn't do anything for you, really, I don't think. Potent Warding, also, it gives you more max res, but again, we're getting that all from intelligence. I think I just spent a bunch of money on it because I like the 4GA look, but looking back, I wish this was like... I also wish the effect was 25%. I spent max gold on it. I should have got a perfect one. But for now, this works, so... when you're looking for it, just look for GA cooldown reduction. Let's see, the gem on here... you have to use the summons one. Anytime you hit anything, they just get 50% more damage. Which makes your Hydras actually, like, huge. Like, they're like a quarter of your screen when they're at max size or whatever. I don't know what the names of these gems are, but you can read them after you kill or injure an enemy. Your summons are bigger, which, again, running 69s, everything should be dead all the time, so it's never not up. The last gem you want is the core stat one. You gain unhindered all the time, which means you never get slowed. I noticed the Sork has a big problem. For some reason, I still get frozen all the time, which I don't understand. But, it doesn't really matter. As long as you keep ice armor up, nothing can hurt you. Which you'll have up all the time, because you'll have so much cooldown. The second part of this actually is helpful. I hated it for a while, but it's actually... Running pits is really helpful. These Jewel Guardians spawn, they count as 3 elites, and they give you like 5% pit progress. So, that seems like a bad thing until you get to this point where you're like super endgame and just farming pits. Otherwise, if you're just in the open world, it's kind of irritating. The Jewel Guardians just spawn. Like, I wish they wouldn't spawn when you're not in combat. They should only spawn when you're in combat already. Because you can't really AFK anywhere but the city. But that's fine. Stormswell aspect. Again, I spent all day trading it max aspects. Again, you want to triple crit hit Hydra heads. And the only GA I cared about looking for here was more cooldown. Rolled max Hydra damage in like 1 roll. And I rolled some really bad stat to max resource, again, because of the way Ophidian works. Actually, the way Serpentine works, sorry. It's another like 20% damage increase. just for rolling this to max resource. Again, probably if you could find one with 3 GAs that look like this, it'd be better, but you're spending a bunch of money for stuff that's not very minuscule, like, improvement. If you cannot if you can't find a wand in let's say you get a GA Harlequin Crest and you triple crit cooldown here. Basically, I'm still missing cooldown. If you can get this to be 75% without all these triple crits and stuff, you could also wear a staff, which I did for a long time. I did staff from like 150 to like literally like 240. I just bought the wand and focus. What you're looking for on your staff is, again, intelligence. Any stat you can reroll to damage. And this one's cool because it has crit strike damage, which again rolls into Hydra. Hydra damage, and again, Hydra heads. You want a triple crit. This staff is actually insane. This is what you use for pushing. Thing is, when you have a wand and a focus, your Hydras actually attack faster. They gain from attack speed, but not in the way you think. This hits insanely hard, so when they hit, they one-shot everything. These hit really fast, so it's literally interchangeable. You can either wear your staff or your wand and focus. It really depends how you want to play. I like watching them attack really fast. Because I'm teleporting all over, it's nice to see them get an attack off every once in a while. Thing with wearing a staff is they'll still kill everything. It's just the hits are so big, and you'll be in the next room by the time the Hydra actually kills the stuff. So, I mean, it works. It's literally the same. Wear a staff, again, staff, wand, or focus. Really depends. It also depends if you need more cooldown. Like, see, this gives me a bunch of cooldown. Yeah, you may want to just wear it just for the cooldown. Alright. Let's go over the skill tree. You have to put 2 points in Firebolt. You don't ever use it. You just always need to put 2 points here to get down to this tree. The way I'm playing right now is I think it's more thematic. Probably not better, but I think it's fun. I went Fireball, Granite Fireball. Basically, this makes it so burning enemies just are executed. Which I don't think is any different than the Ball Lightning version. I mean, every god I see says you should play Ball Lightning. I'm just trying this out for fun. The real build, you should go to Ball Lightning. Points you do need here, though. You have to put 3 and 3 in Devastation. You have to put 3 and 3 in Elemental Dominance. I'm looking why this doesn't have a 3rd point in it. Doesn't matter. 5 out of 5 points into Teleport. And you do need this on your bar until you get enough cooldown to reset the evade one with Hydra. So remember we talked about the boots. You need this implicit on there. You also need this teleport enchantment to say, I think it's 2.4 or lower, and then between everything working together, it'll be below 1.5, and then it'll be reset by the boot effect. Oh, let's talk about the runes too. The mandatory one is Seer Vex. You cannot change this out for anything. you need to play Seer Vex, which is Heart of the Oak. Seer Vex makes it so you gain +3 to all skills, which again reduces the evade teleport even more. It gives you more Hydra damage. I mean, it's +3 to everything, so it's helps your Ice Blades attack. It helps even your Lightning Spear bouncing around. It does more. It gives you more cooldown in your ultimate, which you don't really need because of Orange Herald. Orange Herald just kind of resets this all the time. But yeah, Seer Vex is mandatory. The way I've been playing, I've tried out all different runes today. I was messing around. You can play Warcry, you can play Earthen Bulwark, you can play Vortex, you can play Frost Nova, you can play Meteor, you can play Perma Wolf. What I found what I like is Them Lum, because every time I evade I just get 52 mana. Which means I'm technically never actually at 0, which makes my Hydras, like, always at least get 52 bonus. Every god I've seen says you want to play whatever, like, Sem Ohm, so you get the Barbarian Warcry. Instead, I've tried, like, I was trying messing around with, like, every rune today. Just playing, like, Dark Shrouds when I was, like, Paragon 150 and kind of weak still. I was playing with the Dark Shrouds so stuff couldn't hurt me. Yeah, I played with, I played Sam Ton, Meteorites. I played Sam Mott. Yeah, it just depends how you like to play. Again, this is what I landed on because I like just having the 52 mana just always back instantly. It's nice. I will admit, Stem Ulm is probably better because you just get 15% damage on everything. But I one-shot everything anyway, so go with what the guides say and just probably put Ulm in as your second rune word. Alright, back to the skills. Where were we in here? Oh, we're down here. 5 out of 5 in teleport. Again, it reduces your evade one, even though it doesn't say it does. It actually does. And it's got pretty much like 100% lucky hit, which, again, Orange Herald will reset this. Enhanced teleport, obviously. Shivering teleport, 30% DR is crazy just for all the time. It says 4 seconds, but you never not teleport, so... Mystical teleport. Teleport deals 500%. This is... It's Z DPS. Like, 500% of 0 is still 0. So just go with the DR. 3 out of 3 in Glass Cannon. I guess if you're playing like hardcore, you would never put points here. I don't ever play hardcore, so I can't tell you, but I'm guessing this is like the worst node in the whole tree, like for hardcore. Because you never want to take more damage, but... Ice Armor, 1 point. Here's how this works. So, with all the cooldown I have, my Ice Armor lasts 6 seconds, with the cooldown 6.12 seconds. It's even faster with the rune words and the +3. So, what happens is I always have Ice Armor up no matter what. You need the mana regen from here for your globe again. And actually what you want to do is until you get like 68% cooldown or better, you need to run Shimmering Ice Armor so that they overlap. The more they overlap, the bigger your barrier up to your whole life. Your whole globe will be just barrier. which doubles your. I actually have 12,000 life because it absorbs like 99% of your health. So this effectively doubles your health pool. Again, until you have 68% cooldown or better, you have to run Shimmering to make them overlap. Once you're got that much cooldown, you can switch to Mystical, which is actually good. I haven't noticed it periodically chill, but I'm sure it does. Anything that could ever swing at you just chills itself, and then takes improved damage from Storm Swell. So if they're not instantly dead, they pretty much by hitting you, the extra 35%. Now the burning's just gonna kill them. So again, you only switch from Shimmering to Mystical after 68% cooldown. You need this to be like, I think 6.21 seconds is like the highest it can be. Obviously 5 out of 5 points of Hydra. An Invoked Hydra. This is crazy. 20% critical strike chance just means between all your other items and everything working together in this build, your Hydras have 100% crit chance. They just do. And crit strike damage. And what's crazy is they're not telling you you'd never go Roaring Hydra because this is multiplicative. Not sure why it doesn't say that, but the 50% critical strike damage doesn't work like all their crit damage. It's 50% on top of what your number already is, which makes it like one of the strongest options in the whole tree. Okay, another thing. Ice Blades. I don't get how this one interacts, but it's in every guide, and I've tried playing without it, and it like ruins your build if you don't have it on. Basically, a little Ice Blade just flies around and gives you attack speed. Not sure why it's so good, but I think it has something to do with it makes the Hydras like it improves breakpoints because it gives you the attack speed as well. So this is just a fun, like, not a fun, but it's like it enhances your attack speed basically. It's the only reason it's here. You don't put any points in Lightning Spear. You get this Lightning Spear from Harlequin Crest. You're only pressing it so that when it bounces around, it puts vulnerable and stuff. It's not on this bar because it's not on the bar for actually having the Lightning Spear. Like, you don't need these extra nodes. Maybe you could put points here, but you don't. Just when you get Harlequin Crest, you just put this on your left click. Just again, it's bonus damage and it applies vulnerable everywhere it bounces, which is like the whole screen. And because I have so much cooldown, it's literally like 5 seconds. I can get like 4 of these going at once. Yeah, it's not worth investing points into the tree forks. Okay, probably the most important thing in this whole build is Primordial Binding. This is why you need this Primordial Binding on your necklace, GA. Because this one node, you just get more damage, movement speed, and the most important thing is mana regen per summon you have. 10 stacks, like right now I have 7. Again, I could crit up to 8, so this would be at 12. 400% mana regeneration, which makes this whole thing work because you're spending all your mana and refunding it as soon as you move with teleport. This is the most important thing to get. Any points you can find anywhere for you get them. Mana Shield, another one that kind of became optional now that I'm speed farming. It's nice. 30% DR. Actually, 40% if you put all the points here. However, I've literally taken this off and still been okay in like 69, 79s. Oh, if you're trying to like speed 89s, you maybe want this on. Again, if you like something else in the tree, this is the one I take points out of. Familiar 1 point. And you want to get invoked familiar. What happens if you never actually cast familiar yourself? You have it as an enchantment, and every time you hit with every time Hydra attacks, you also get a fire familiar, which then feeds into itself, and you just get these bonuses. Like it makes stuff burn, and you always have the 6 of them. Basically, you just put a point here, and you get because you're getting these for free. They just follow you around, and they're really kind of hard to see. They also count as a summon for Primordial Binding. So, Familiar is a very good thing to pick up. And it has to be invoked because you want them to be fire. Yeah, you couldn't do Roaring. This is for other builds, I don't know. Okay. Talk about the other version of this build. Don't do what I did. You don't go put points in Fireball. What you do is you put points in Ball Lightning. 1 point here, 1 point here, and 1 point here. What this does is every time you cast Ball Lightning, you get Crackling Energy just filled up like all the way instantly. It's always just capped. Enhanced Ball Lightning is just attack speed, which again, your Hydra attacks faster. Which is just good. If you're just beginning the speed runs, I would go Ball Lightning. Again, I'm just playing with Fireball because I think it's like more thematic. Don't go Fireball, go Ball Lightning. Some more mandatory nodes. Inner Flames you have to get. You should always be healthy again. Your ice armor should never fall off. It's 24% damage increase for nothing. Devouring again, more crit strike damage. We go down here. Fiery Surge. Another one where I could probably take points out of here because I have so much Primordial Binding. However, I like the extra mana regen. Again, I like my glow being just build up instantly. You'd move the points from Fire Surge to Hoarfrost because this makes you do more damage versus bosses. For some reason, bosses are considered frozen when you hit them, like when they're near you and you have ice armor on, they're just considered frozen, so this just gives you the full benefit. But again, I like the mana regen. But more damage, you'd move the points from here to here. I move so fast anyway, doesn't matter. Permafrost. Again, 24% damage for having an ice ability on your bar, which is literally just ice armor. You won't need it anyway to survive, so... Icy Touch, again, 60% more damage to vulnerable. Everything's vulnerable because the lightning spear bouncing around. Oh, this is just... Elemental Synergy is just 4% more fire damage because it's the only thing that you care about. You don't care that it synergizes with all the other things. It's 4% fire damage. Absolutely mandatory note on this. This is ridiculous. This is just 16% cooldown. Well, let's see. 12% if you don't have Shroud of False Death. But it's 16% cooldown on just a node. Which opens you up to a lot of things. You absolutely need... This is like not optional. You put 3 and 3. I think every build in the game would put 3 out of 3 points in here. because cooldown reduction is so good. Let's see. Unstable currents. This is the ultimate we pick. You have to pick attack speed 25% while active. Here's why you don't play Inferno when you're playing speeds. Because Inferno is actually very good, and it kind of one-shots the bosses. However, you're moving around so fast, you can't stop for this thing. The snake that goes around, it kills one little portion of your screen. Whereas Unstable Currents is always just active on you, and it also casts free summons and stuff. Again, it casts more lightning spears and stuff that go around. It's a matter of mobility. You only pick this because it moves with you. If Inferno had some way where it could move with you, you'd go Inferno, but it doesn't, so... and it gives you attack speed, which again makes your Hydras actually like fire when they're out. You'd take a point out of here if you were going Ball Lightning, because you would never ever need this. However, because I'm messing around with Fireball right now, I need a point in here. This acts the same as what Ball Lightning. This node reads the same as this node. When I'm moving around and I cast Ball Lightning, it gives me Crackling Energy. However, I'm getting my Crackling Energy from Unstable Currents using this. They pulse at a 25% faster rate, which is based on my attack speed, which caps it out instantly. So, these two nodes read exactly the same. Even though they don't, that's what it does. It just gives you the Crackling Energy instantly. You only put a point. You need to put a point in Conduction. The one point I wish I could move somewhere else. Issue being this isn't any good. Every one of your abilities critical strikes, so this literally does nothing. So the only other option is you might as well get a little bit of movement speed instead of a skill that or a passive that does actually nothing. Again, your Hydra's always crit, so this would never. This resets upon getting your critical strike, which means it never gives you any bonus. Again, you might as well just get some movement speed. But the reason you need that is to get the convulsions. This is because Crackling Energy, again, when I'm full, it's 20% more damage, and I periodically pick one up. Periodically, they mean like once per second. And because you have like 10 of them or whatever, however many there are, every second you also hurt monsters around like every second. So convulsions is very good. You don't put any points in these. However, the reason we want static discharge on our items, you don't pick this, but the reason it's on our items is because the lucky hit form Crackling Energy. So, again, every time we teleport, which is our evade, we get a 97% chance to spawn Crackling Energy. So it's almost every time you teleport into something, you get Crackling Energy. Which again, you saw in my run, mine builds instantly. I'm sure when you're just starting, you get like 4, 6, 7. But at this end, late in the game, you probably get them all instantly. Again, speed, you want static discharge on your items. You don't want to put the points in yourself. You need the points for other things. Paragon boards. First board is Tactician, because it gives you a ridiculously huge bonus to these 2 rare nodes. It's like 3 times damage to elites. First board is Searing Heat. Um, Pyromaniac. Over here we get Unleash. And we're going to talk about this. This is the only thing in the Paragon board I want to talk about. Because there's options here, but Unleash is the best one for speed runs. And Enchantment Master. And we go up here and we get Ceaseless Conduit. Again, this is the correct energy variant. If you weren't playing correctly energy, you would pick a whole different board. I forget what the name of it is, but that's what I use. And this is every 10% more damage. And I pick one up like every second, so 60%, 70% bonus total. Destruction. This is one that's not optional. Unite Destruction, and then every dexterity node you can get around it. Just crit hit damage. Not sure why I put points in crackling energy damage, but I mean, I pick it up once a second, so why not? Conjurer. This is another one. Mandatory. And you want to get all the intelligence you can around, which is your main stat anyway. Because it gives you huge conjuration damage and makes these rare nodes way better. And Elemental Summoner. Elemental Summoner is just straight up 60% damage to your summons, which is, again, Hydra, Familiar, Ice Blades. And you're going to end your tree pretty much when you get to like 150, 200. Your last node is these. Like you go up here and then you go conjuration damage, and this rare node is like the last one that actually matters. And then you could get whatever you want. I started going this way and get conjuration cooldown. And now I'm just trying to pick up all the little max life ones just to make my, because actually these max life ones, again, they double dip because even though it gives you 2% max life, it also lets your ice armor go up by 2%. So this is 8% life, 4%. Again, it double dips. So you can go for those. You can pretty much go for whatever you want after you get to each one of these little end nodes. Like here's another one. You don't go this way originally. This is, you go this way after you start getting like extra points just to spend. Again, life per second doesn't matter, but this is 16% max life. You cut off here and go up if you really need to just get to all your legendaries. Okay, we gotta talk about Unleash. So what Unleash does is after spending 50 mana, you gain 25% increased mana regen. You don't have to wear this one at all. And actually, I'm pretty sure Elementalist is what's recommended. They say Elementalist is way better, like way more damage. However, again, I don't like to ever slow down now because of I need to be going fast. And the 25% mana regen doesn't sound like a lot, but it's another thing that doesn't say it's multiplicative. So this 25% applies after everything else, which makes it so my globe again just bounces. I may try to switch to Elementalist when I get it to 100 just to see if I can play without Unleash. But for now it's in there and it works. So another thing that's nice about Unleash over Elementalist is I guess the bonus to rare nodes. This gives bonus to magic nodes, which is giving me a huge amount of dexterity. Damage to elites. Willpower. It's just a big stat stick. Again, I will try Elementalist um, when I get it to 100, like tomorrow. And I'll probably mess around with it. It's probably like equally as good. Again, I'm only messing with this for now because I have it. It works. It's giving me a huge stat stick. You can see right there all the stuff it's giving me. But again, max damage, you want to play Elementalist, not Unleash. Okay, so trying to think, how would you play it as a starter? It's gonna pretty much break your fingers because you're gonna have to hit you're gonna have to press 1 through 4. Again, I have the macro that just presses 1 through 4, but I have to hit it 4 times. You could probably just manually push them. Yeah, and that's the build. That's how you go fast. Some tips I would give you. Resistance, your Sork doesn't matter at all. Eventually you're just gonna have enough intelligence where these are capped anyway. Armor, of course you want to get to 1,000 if you can. That requires having like armor on one of your items. But again, it doesn't matter. Stuff shouldn't be hitting you physically anyway. It just helps for DR. Obviously Topaz is for intelligence and your only item that can have it. Let's see what else. Let's go through some stats like crit hit damage, huge. Crit strike chance. Again, this is 63% on Hydra, which is probably, I think it's 100% on your Hydra. Anything over like 40%, it's 100% for your Hydra. Yeah, these are all my stats. All damage reduction. Experience bonus. Again, cooldown reduction is your biggest one. You want to get this one to 75% if you can. That would be insane. That would require you to have triple crit here, triple crit here. And so that's basically my guide for this. Oh, mercenaries. Reinforcement right here. Oh, I gotta go over the season thing too. Right here, you only want this Bastion when you become injured because this literally he comes and protects you. So this is cheat death. It's basically cheat death from Diablo 3. Let's say something does actually break through your ice armor, he'll just save you once. And it happens, I think it's like a 60-second cooldown, so... On the 30 seconds. On the off chance you actually are killed, you're not actually killed. Pretty good stuff. I play solo, so I'm just going over this. You don't need to know for hardcore. Well, hardcore you'd run right here as a main. But, yeah. So, solo. Subo is insane because he's literally a map hack. He shows you where the monsters are, and it doesn't just show you where monsters are, it shows you where, like, clumps of monsters are. So you could be like, oh, if I go that way, it's probably the right way, because that's where a bunch of monsters are at. Yeah, Subo, Seeker, he just reveals everything on the map. And I guess his active ability is more resource, so that's cool. I'm not sure why you go wire trap. I just put up a guide for this because I have no clue. Wire trap. I guess it doesn't matter because you kill everything instantly, so piercing arrow makes sense. And then cover fire is actually kind of important because anytime he hits anything, you get 25% more crit damage. It says cover fire, but cover fire seems to mean like his auto attack, so even though it's this, it's not actually this. It's just another 25% crit strike damage. I swear this is just wrong. I think it's his auto attack. So this is just good. This is what you want. Okay, so that's the guide there. So I'll be streaming. I'm gonna try to get like 1 level a day, probably much more on weekends. But we're going to 300. Okay, so I hope you find it helpful. I'm gonna put in my description the actual guide that I followed. This video is to explain the little tweaks and stuff I did myself to it. Alright. Peace.